Good morning and welcome to week 5, I believe, of Blob on a Bike. And this year I will be trying my best to cycle 2,000 miles during 2021. Got off to a really great start actually, but it has gone a little bit behind just due to poor weather and various other things. Anyway, so this morning it is Sunday and this bike ride nearly almost didn't happen because last night it was freezing and there was a lot of ice about, but most of that has now melted and it's not freezing anymore. However, it's about 1 degree, so it is absolutely Baltic, and with the wind chill it feels like -4 according to the BBC. So it is cold, my hands are frozen. I am inappropriately dressed for a change, but this is the best I've got at home, so I'm just gonna have to take it. So another thing this morning, when I got to my bike and went to pump the tyres up, I noticed that you can't really see it at the moment. I'll show it to you later. I don't want to get wet hands cleaning my tyre off, but all around my front tyre there's a split which has opened up, which doesn't fill me with much confidence with it, so I won't be gunning anywhere today. But I've been so fed up with not being able to get out and do a proper long bike ride. I've just had to risk it and you know, try the best I can with what I've got at the moment. Anyway, so that is me. I'm trying to hopefully to gain another 15 plus miles this morning to add to my tally for this year. However, also I have forgotten to bring out my water bottle, which I filled up before I left. So what a plonker. I'm now a couple of miles from home, so I can't be bothered to go back and get it either. So it's one of those days today, unfortunately. Which also brings me on to another point I've been wanting to cover. With regards to motivating yourself and having motivation to go out for a bike ride. You know, I start these things in the depth of winter and it is blooming freezing. I am in the UK and the weather is just crap. So really for me the weather is the main reason which I find it difficult to get motivated to go for a bike ride. You know, for me, I don't really mind the rain. If I'm at work, I've got my wet weather gear, so I can get wet, get changed again into some dry clothes and crack on. But I do draw the line at dangerous winds, and anything really over about 30 mile an hour for me is, you know, a no-go really, because it's not much fun. I have to drive on main road, and there's giant lorries going past and stuff. And if I take a side wind and get blown, you know, even a couple of foot across the road, that can be bad news. So you do have to time your bike rides, you know, against things like that. But really, you know, with the weather and all those kind of things, you can defeat those, you know, rain and cold through wearing appropriate clothing, which I obviously don't do most of the time. But you can overcome that. You know, you can't do anything about the weather, but you can do something about your mindset. So just try what you can and, you know, try and get out there as best you can. Sometimes it can be a bit demoralising when the weather's just rubbish all the time. And we've had our fair share of that kind of weather over here the last few weeks, which has not really helped me out on my start. But it is okay today. There is about a 15 mile an hour wind. It doesn't really look like it today, but I can tell you when you're riding into it, you notice it. And with that -4 wind chill factor, it is blooming cold. So I've just stopped here to catch my breath a bit. And maybe I can show you this bit on my tyre. I don't know. No, you can't see that. I'll wait until it's dried off a bit. Anyway, I'm going to get on with it and do as best I can today without my drink and my dodgy tyre. So let's stop chatting about it and get on with it. Let's go this way. Okay, here we are in a place called Sheepwash in Devon, and you can see the river is pretty swollen at the moment. It's not as high as it does get. It does go into that garden sometimes, but it is pretty high. Oh, my hands are frozen. This is often the case. Found it hard. I just had to come blast down a big hill down there, and you can't tuck your fingers in to keep them warm. You have to have them out and hold them on the brake, and they're just absolutely numb. So anyway, I've got another big hill to ride up now, so I'm going to get on with that and hopefully it will warm me up a bit. Okay, well, halfway up this big hill now, and I'll stop for a breather. A couple of things, show you my tyre. Excuse me, don't know if you can see that, but there's a crack going across the middle here, and also all the way along the outside of that raised part is splitting as well, so be a bit careful today. Excuse me. Okay, so anyone else who might be watching this when I ride to Holsworthy and back will notice I ride up a place called Nuclear Bunker Hill, which is what I call it anyway, because there's an old nuclear bunker you know, from or whatever, in one of the fields. Anyway, I'm in a place now called Sheepwash, and you can just see here a weird chimney coming out of the field with a fenced off area. I can't find anything about this on the internet, but I can only imagine that's another one. I must dig a bit deeper because I'm really interested in things like that. Probably a bit boring for you guys, but there you go. Did I mention it's bloody freezing? Oh yes it is. Oh, it's quite torrent down here today. I'm about to ride over this bridge. Well, don't know if I'll ride up there, it's probably really slippery. But I was going to have a chat to you, but there's some bloke with a chainsaw just about 20 metres away, so I won't be doing it. I'll do it in a bit. Well, I'm staying quite close to my house today due to my dodgy tyre. But I have ventured to Hatherley, which is about 8 miles I suppose from my house, 7 or 8 miles, and I've done a loop of that, so I'm heading in the right direction for home now. I've done a few miles already. I'm knackered and I could really do with a drink, but I haven't got one. Just have to get on with it, won't I? Little bit of respite down this hill, yes. Okay, so it is time to talk about my foot. Anyone who's been watching my vlogs will know that I had some foot problems last year where my feet and ankles swelled up, and I got plantar fasciitis, which is very painful on the bottom of your feet, and that lasted for about a month. So whilst it didn't really affect my cycling, because it didn't bother me when I was cycling, walking was a right pain in the backside. Anyway, fast forward till the tail end of last year, I did mention in one of my videos that I was having an issue with a trapped nerve near my big toe on my left foot, which I noticed once when I was putting my trousers on and I tilted my foot down to slide it in through the trouser leg, and it felt like someone was setting fire to my toe with a cigarette lighter. Excuse me. So anyway, when you know, I was a bit careful after that, and I thought my shoe might have been pressing on a nerve or something like that. Anyway, it's got a little bit better, it's got a little bit worse, got a little bit better, got a little bit worse. Bought new trainers which are much looser, and I even wear slippers at work, so I haven't got anything tight on my feet, and also wear slippers when I'm at home. I'm an old man, but that hasn't helped either. And yesterday Sam fell over and slammed onto my foot and stretched it right pointing downwards, which hurt like hell. So I figure it's time really that I should do something about it. I've been putting off going to the doctors or anything about it, obviously because of this coronavirus rubbish, and not wanting to go to the doctors, but transpires you can actually do an online consultation and stuff like that. So I've done that yesterday, so I'll wait and see what they say about that, but it is not particularly nice. And while it's not affecting me at the moment, I have had to put some tighter shoes on today for this bike ride. It doesn't hurt when I ride my bike, it doesn't hurt when I walk or anything, but when you put your leg, when you tilt your foot down to put it in the trouser leg, geez, it hurts. So hopefully they can sort that out. Anyway, for now I'm on the old railway line that runs between Highhampton and Hatherley, off towards Holsworthy, and that's the direction I'm going. That's where my house is, that way. But I'm going to do a couple of little extensions. It's rude not to while the weather is not pony, and I'm out on my bike already, so let's get on with it. Oh dear, someone's got their car stuck in the middle of that field. Told you it was boggy. Right, nearly at the end of this, and then I'll be riding up a steep hill for a change. Right, that is the end of the railway line. Used to keep going along there, but that now goes into someone's farm, so I'm not allowed in there. Boo. Anyway, I've got to have a little blast down this hill and then ride up that horrible winding hill that goes up there, which is not much fun, but it is brilliant for burning calories, and that's what I need, so let's get on with it. Now, this hill is not particularly steep, but it does go on and on and on. Luckily, I'm not too far from the top now, but now I really need a drink. What a wally. What goes up must go down, and now it's me. Quite slowly though, because my tyre's not getting any better. Hopefully it will see me home. let's roll down here nice and gently, preferably with both hands. Okay, that is me at the probably the highest point of this ride. Nice pothole there, and I have to say I'm pretty toast now. However, I had a disappointing week last week, so I got a decision to make. That takes me straight to my house. That takes me a little bit further. That takes me quite a lot further. So which way do you think I'm going? Yeah, make myself even more toast. Let's go this way. I've ridden up the road from Sheepwash to Highhampton a bunch of times, but I've never ridden down it, and it's downhill all the way. Today is my day. Definitely need both hands for this one. Also, another reason why I'm keen to get a couple more extra miles in today. I noticed I mentioned it's freezing cold today. We are due some snow actually in the next couple of 3 days, so that might restrict me from getting out my bike. So I'm doing what I can today. Let's do it. Whee! Well, that was fun, but blooming freezing when you're going that quick. The only downside, of course, you've got to go back up the other side. So luckily, whoa, it's quite short and steep, but not much fun. My legs are absolutely done in. Easy gear today, I think. Ah, there you go. I will take a long shallow gradient any day over a short really steep one. That was hideous, but nearly at the top now and it's leveling off, so let's do this and get home. Not too far now. Oh, holy, that was hard work today, but I did do 22.08 miles, which is not so bad, and also I've met average speed of 11.6 miles, which probably about average for me. Anyway, I have just got back, and it does now coincide with the walk up to the poo pile with my wife and my kid Sam, so that's what I'm going to do that straight away now as well, and then nice shower. I am done in with a massive headache now. See ya. Yes. Jeez, it is cold today. No. It is Monday. A bit of a cheeky pop down the post office today. Reason being, there's a bit of a blue sky, and since I moan so much about the weather, I feel like a bit of a hypocrite if I don't make an effort to get out when it's not raining. Anyway, it is absolutely Baltic. It's freezing, and there is a brisk wind, but I can't moan about it all the time. Let's get on with it, shall we? Just one lap today. Quite busy at work actually, so can't spend too long out. Typical Monday. So the wind is coming from that direction at the moment, and it's not particularly nice having a headwind. It is a couple of degrees above freezing at the moment, so it is cold, but it's actually sheltered here from it. And actually, when the sun hits my bare legs, like I said, just a really quick one today. Had to get out quick, no messing about with my trousers and stuff. The sun is actually quite nice and warm on it. Ah, can't wait till summer. Nice down here today. Not many people about either, which surprises me, and the sun's out. Getting lucky. There has been a couple of flakes of snow. I thought I was seeing things, but definitely a little tiny bit of snow. Don't think I'll be doing a snowman anytime soon. Okay, that is that done and dusted. 6.33 miles, there we go, and it took just over half an hour. It wasn't a race today. I was trying not to get a wet bum because I've got a change of pants today, so that is that, and I'm pleased about that. I was not expecting to get out today, but I did, so bonus miles. Anyway, hopefully later on I will get a chance to have a go on this guy as well, you know, so I managed to get the hub nuts off. That was a pain in the backside. Anyway, hoping it'll be back on its wheels later. Bye, see you tomorrow. Maybe, hopefully. Right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday and I am walking down to Summerlees Beach in Bude. Now you might be wondering why you're walking. I'm asking myself the same thing, but I do have an answer. I had my telephone consultation with my doctor yesterday and I've been given a 2-week ban from cycling, believe it or not, which really sucks balls. But I would like my foot to get better. My doc is a little bit puzzled as to why this would be happening to my foot, she thinks it might be something called neuropraxia or something like that, which is something to do with inflammation of the nerve in my foot. And she's also asked me what I do for exercise, and when I said I do a fair bit of cycling, she said, right, stop that for a couple of weeks. I've got a course of anti-inflammatories which I need to take for the next couple of weeks, and hopefully we can get rid of it, because it's blooming annoying. But not really as annoying as not being able to cycle for 2 weeks, because that's really going to throw a spanner in the works. It's not really cool, is it? But I can still do some walking, and I'll really have to concentrate on my food over the next couple of weeks if I'm to lose any weight, which is going to be tough, but there you go, one of those things. Anyway, I'm going to go and have a little walk now. I've just been to the post office and go and get a couple of miles in, hopefully. Fair to say it is absolutely Baltic again. It is about freezing at the moment, and I have seen a couple of little attempts at snowing this morning, but according to my weather app, there's only about a 2% chance of rain, so I don't think I'm going to get a dumping of snow on me. But yeah, funnier things have happened. So anyway, for those that have joined over the new year, as we enter 2021, I am in Bude, which is in Cornwall in the UK. This is my playground. It's awesome here. So what have we got here in Bude? Well, we have a tidal sea pool, which gets a fresh load of water twice a day as the sea goes in and out. This is one of the best surfing beaches in the UK, Summerlees Beach in Bude, and also just over the hill, which you'll see in a moment, Crooklets Beach. I love it here, and I do go surfing as and when I can, which is not very often at the moment. No lifeguards. I am pleased to see that the ground is not really boggy here actually. This is an old sand dune actually, so that could be something to do with it. Further up there, as you get to the top, pure mud and slop, which is why I've not been riding up there. Ordinarily I'll do a loop along the coastal path. It's much more scenic than the route I've been taking on the canal, but it's a bit boggy up there at the moment. Soon, well in 2 weeks hopefully, when I can get back on my bike, I'll show you what it's like if you've not seen it already. Beach, another great surfing beach. Rather you than me, it is Baltic out here today, very cold. We've got about a 20-mile-an-hour wind today. It's due to pick up to 40 today, and with this wind chill it will be biting. Plenty of ice on the drive to work this morning, and there's still plenty kicking around. Anyway, I'm going to walk up a hill now and warm up. It is cold. So a couple of my longer term viewers, Si and John, hello, have been asking to see a little bit more about my camper van, which I'm gradually doing up and making a bit more roadworthy. So given that I won't be spending so much time when I should be working out on my bike, I might do a little bit more work on my camper van as well. So I shall show you a little bit of that probably a bit later. Well, there you have it. What a pathetic little walk, but it is better than nothing, and I would take that any day. So I'm going to get back now and grab some food and see if I can squeeze in some camper time. Yeah. Okay, so this is my trusty old early bay window VW bus from 1971. This came up for sale, you know, last summer. A guy just needed the money really. It was local, and it's had a bit of a rough life the last few years, but I'll explain some of that stuff. Anyway, so 1971, it initially came from California. It was imported into the UK in about 2014, and it's had a few owners since then. However, this bus is actually got a bit of a weird history. There is a guy in America called Ian Russell. Now, if you don't know the name, you might do if you're in America. Think Richard Rawlings' Gas Monkey Garage, that kind of thing. This guy is a classic car modifier. He does all sorts of wacky things with classic cars and probably not so classic cars, I don't know. But anyway, he once upon a time owned this vehicle. This is way before he had he's got his own TV program in America called Full Custom Garage or something like that at the moment. But anyway, he used to own this, and it looked quite a bit different to this. It was black, and he did all sorts of weird things. I'll show you some of them, but he messed about with the wheel arches and did a couple of hacks and stuff, which I'm not too impressed with, has to be said. But they do constitute part of the camper's history. Anyway, back in the day, I don't know exactly when this was, but the camper used to look like this when it belonged to Ian Russell. And it was over there for a bit, and he owned it for quite some time, I believe, and did quite a lot of work to it. You know, some of it questionable, I have to say. Anyway, but anyway, that is part of its history, as I say. Then when it came into the UK, let's spin back a bit. After he bought it, I found out that he owned it because I have found in the paperwork that came with the camper some paperwork from the guy who was the last guy to own it when it was in America. He lived in California, and I got in touch with him. I found him on Facebook and got in touch with him, and he was delighted to hear that the old girl was still going and had made its way to the UK. And well, he knew that because he sold it to a guy that you know, imported it. Anyway, he was really pleased to hear from me, and he actually went on to tell me the story about this guy, Ian Russell, who once upon a time had the bus. He bought it from him, I think, and you know, that's how I know about all that's happened there. I did actually get in touch with Ian Russell, and again, he was fascinated to see that the Campervan is you know, still going and is in the UK now. But he was less than impressed that someone had changed it back from how he made it 15 odd years ago or something like that. Anyway, so in that time, the guy when I spoke to, this is what it looked like then, and this is what it looked like when it came into the UK first. Now, a guy who owned this probably about 2 or 3 people before me, when it first came into the UK, he bought it from the guy that imported it. It was black, okay, and it just looked disgusting. But he bought it. It was quite cheap because it was black and had been messed about with a bit. So he purchased the van and basically set about stripping all of the black paint off of it, which you'll agree makes it look much nicer. It did actually used to be white from here upwards, okay, but you know, someone gave him a comment at a Volkswagen show, and he took it to heart and decided to spray the rest of it up to the roof lime green, which anyway, so when this guy had it, he made it look really nice. He fitted it with a really nice Westphalia camper interior, which is the one to have if you're into that kind of thing. And he made it look pucker, and he literally made it look pretty similar to how it looks now. Here's a picture of what it looked like in its prime. He also had a really nice engine in it as well. Then he sold it, and it got purchased by a guy that had done a full restoration on another early bay window, and he wanted the engine and the interior. So the engine came out, the interior came out, and in its place was just put like a basic rock and roll bed, which I'll show you in a few moments. But yeah, sadly, the really nice engine has gone. It does have an engine and it does run, but it doesn't run quite right. But you know, I think someone just bunged one in there to sell it or whatever. But anyway, those nice things are gone, but they can come back. And yeah, let's get on with it, and I will show you some features of this camper. Okay, so here she stands. It's 1971. And it is what you would call a bit of a beater, if I'm honest with you. It's nowhere near pristine, but I don't really like them like that. I like them a bit rough and ready, and this is just how I like them, really. It has got some rust showing and stuff, but in the game, you call this patina, not rust. So it is actually structurally solid all underneath and where it counts. It's just got some rough bits where it's been weathered by the sun and all that kind of stuff when it was in California. Anyway, what we got inside, it is pretty ropey at the moment inside. If I can just get rid of that and open up, you can see it has been fitted with 2 steering wheels. Yep, that's right, 2 steering wheels. This part here is the original steering wheel with all of the rubber and stuff taken off of it, and on top of it is what I believe to be a Triumph TR3 steering wheel. So yes, it does have 2 steering wheels. It does work. It has been on there for about 15 years. I do actually plan to take that off because I don't like it, and I'd rather have an original steering wheel on there, to be fair. It does need a few bits doing inside there. It did come with this rather funky Bug Tech. That's a very flash gear shifter. However, the gears are not great, and I have got a kit to try and sort out the gearing. This was the guy actually, Way Custom Metalworks. That's what he owned when he did the van. Now he goes by Full Custom Garage or something like that. So that is that. What I've been doing to it, the speedo cable, the speedo never works. So I've taken all this apart and replaced the cable. And the main reason why I was doing some stuff at the front of the van was because the wheel studs, they were not in a good state of repair. I don't know if you can see, but they were all a bit like that, a bit manky, and just won't do, I'm afraid. Plus it did actually come with a set of wheels, and there's some more spare tyres in there. I don't know what they're for. And I intend to put those on. And to put those on, you need longer wheel studs. So whilst I was sorting out the wheel studs, I went to the effort of getting some longer ones and putting those on there. And then I can have a choice of the original wheels or the alloys. Okay, so at the back here you can see just how long the wheel studs are now. They can be trimmed back a little bit. This is called a hub nut, and they are a massive pain in the backside to get off. I did break my breaker bar trying to get those off last week, which you have to do to get out and gain access to the studs. So that did break, but I have managed to get them off and get new ones back on, which is good. Where do we go from here? Right, let's have a look. Like I say, it does have an engine. It's just not the fancy one it used to have, but there we have it. It does work. It's got twin carbs, so it's a little bit more high performance than just your general, but it's a 1600 twin port engine. It needs a bit of tidying up and stuff, but I will be getting that taken to an expert, someone who knows what they're doing, and have it properly tuned up. Inside, this is what it looks like. Like I say, it had a really nice interior once upon a time, but someone has taken the liberty of removing that, and they have at the same time gone to the trouble with actually installing a rock and roll bed, which is nice because it's really handy to have. But it was fitted by Stevie Wonder. There's panels everywhere because I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to fix the bed. Unfortunately, it does need moving this way by about 1 inch, so that when you extend the bed into the bed, it doesn't just constantly rub against all the panels over there. I've got no idea why they would have done that, but they have. So that is a project. I need to move that somehow and figure out a way to do that. It's not currently safe really to take my family in because there's no seatbelt in the back. I did fit this one, but it just fouls the bed there, and I need to move the bed over, so that certainly won't work. But I've got hold of this bracket which you can fit, and there's some fitting spaces just behind here, and that will go straight into the bodywork of the van. And this raises where the seatbelt reel fits, so basically that will make it so it doesn't foul the bed at all, particularly once I've moved the bed. It's a bit minging in here. The headlining could do with a new one, but this is the original one, and it's certainly seen some better days, but it is part of the bus. There's weird things all over this bus. I have no idea what that thing on the roof is. Once upon a time it probably had a big CB aerial. Now, let me show you this. Anyone who's familiar with these will notice that they normally have metal bars going across here to stop birds and foreign objects getting in there. This guy, Ian Roussel, took the liberty of hacking all of that out, making it look like big ears. which looks ridiculous. I have actually got where a previous owner has sourced some of the original vents in this colour, which is a rare colour. It's called elm green. There's not many of these about. He's got some the old panels cut out from another bus, the same colour, which can go back in, but I kind of like the fact keeping it as it was. You know, it's part of its history really, and I can't see anyone ever hacking those off again because they look a bit stupid. So I don't know what's going to happen there, but for the time being they will be staying just like that. I fitted a new door seal around here because it didn't have one. That's a horrible job. Not much fun. There's tools everywhere, obviously. I'm doing little jobs here, there and everywhere. Someone has hacked out the parts from the back of the seats. There's a metal stands that go behind those. They've been hacked out, so I might have to get someone to weld some new ones of those in, or have a go myself and learn to weld. But other than that, there is a few little projects. Like I say, I've got gear linkage couplings which I can work on and hopefully improve the gears somewhat. What else have I got? I'm sure I've got other stuff that I need to be doing on it. What have I got in my little box of things to do? That's all the gear stuff. What have we got here? Just some gear couplings and gear gaskets and stuff like that that will hopefully make it the reason I say that, because the gears are a little bit sloppy and you can't always get it into first or second gear as you should. Now I know you can do lots of adjustments at the gear stick, but you know, if I'm doing it, I'd like to learn how to work on these things. So you know, while it's inside and I've got a nice place to work on it, I will jack it up at the front and give the gear couplings a good going over and re-grease and put new ones in there, just so I know that that's not what's causing the first and second. It does work, it does change gear and all that sort of stuff, but it's just not as nice as it would be. I have had a couple of these vans before and they've never been great, the gear shift, but they can be better, so I'm hoping to fix that. But anyway, that is my bus. It is a bit of a wreck at the moment, but it was cheap, and you know, there's not too many that you can say you can buy a cheap one of these that's roadworthy and you know, works okay, or kind of okay. Anyway, so that is that, and I will have more videos soon. I'm not going to do any stuff like showing you what I'm doing with it. I'll show you once I've done it, because this is cycling. So anyway, people have asked to see it, now you've seen it, and there she is. One thing I will mention actually, since I mentioned about the guy in America, he did actually make this bus so it's really low on the ground. I'll try and find a picture to show you of what it looked like. I have got quite a file of pictures of what it used to look like, which I found out and about and stuff, doing research. It has got what is called a lowered beam, so you can adjust some adjusters on this beam at the front here. You can't really see, it's too dark, but it's got adjusters on there so you can raise and lower the suspension height, and also it is narrower than a normal one. If you look down here, the wheels should poke out of the wheel arch a bit more. This is called a narrowed beam. I believe it's 2-inch narrowed. Likewise on the back of the camper there is a bit of a leak. Don't look down there, there is a bit of a leak. Also you can lower these, and I can't really show it, no, can't see it. I'll have to grab a torch and come back. Okay, so here we are back under the back of the camper van. You can see it's got fairly new parts of the exhaust system here, but up here you can see like a little horseshoe shaped piece of metal. That is called a notch plate. Basically you have part of the old frame of the camper van, and if you make a notch in it, it allows you to go lower, which is good. And someone has raised this back up at some stage, but I do actually prefer them when they're a bit lower, just so they don't wallow about so much, if anything. But you know, it does need to be practical, so it won't be struggling to get over any speed bumps or such like. But I will be tinkering with those suspension parts and learning how to do that, and bring it a little bit closer to the ground, but not super low. Anyway, that is it. I will keep you updated with any progress if you're interested, but for now I'm going to see what little jobs I can get on with this RV. Okay, so I've had quite an eventful couple of hours and very productive. This bed, so called a rock and roll bed, basically. You put it out and it lays flat and lays level with the cushion that's in the back there, to make a nice big bed. But however, whoever fitted it, I think, was related to Stevie Wonder, and it was so far over that side. You can see the scrapes on the panel there. Every time you used it, it would make a horrible scraping noise and take a gouge out of the wood there. So I've had to move it across 1.75 inches, or 1 3/4 inches, and that would have been much easier with 2 people, because you've got to do a bolt up on the top and at the bottom both at the same time, which is not easy on your own. But I've done it, and now it works. You can do it with one hand now. Before, it took about 5 minutes with both hands, just cursing. So that is done. I'm pretty sure that is it for today, but it has taken me a couple of hours. Oh, also, I fitted this, the most important thing, safety. So I fitted this extension rod. Let me put my light on. So basically it raises the seat belt up here. Normally it's down there and it fouls with all this stuff here, so it's designed specifically for these rock and roll beds. I've got to have it safe with my little guy in here. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully for some exercise of some description. Thanks for watching. Bye. It is Wednesday and day 2 of my cycling ban, courtesy of my doctor. Thank you very much. So anyway, I'm home early today. I try and finish early once a week, and I'm here with my little man, Sam. Say hello. So we're just going for a little walk. This bridleway is near my house. Now, you might think, why is that astonishing? It's not really. Other than the fact I've lived there for over 2 years, coming up 3 years now, and I've never been here, and it's probably only a few hundred metres from my house. The reason being, there's quite a lot of fields you have to go through, and there's always one full of cows, and we don't do cows, you know, I don't like animals. So today, because I'm home early and I thought I'd take the man out for a walk, we thought we'd have a go because there was no cows in the first field, and Sam has found lots of ice to play with. So it's a very slow walk, unfortunately, but this is uncharted territory for us because I've never managed to get this far along here, so we're going to go and see what's up. Quite a short-lived walk, unfortunately. Sam has just told me that at 3 o'clock, which is 20 minutes time, he's got a online class with his school. Oh, story time or something. What is it you're doing?
Story time.
What time is it?
3
Right.
o'clock.
So we've got about a 20-minute walk home and 20 minutes to get there. So we're going to get on with it. Right, we managed an astonishing 1.31 miles, which is better than nothing. What have you got?
I got some ice.
A nice little souvenir for you. Okay, so it's Thursday and I'm preparing myself for a little walk down to the post office, which could be quite fun actually. If you look at my camera just here, it is dry as a bone outside, but according to this, it says we've had 0.5 centimetres of snow, which is a load of rubbish. If I zoom out a little bit, oh, it's gone too far. Right, forget it. Typical. So basically that says that there's a massive band of snow coming up, but it's about 4 degrees outside, so I don't trust that it's actually going to fall as snow. So I'm going to have to wear my wet weather jacket and look like a plonker, but I don't really care. I'd rather that than get soaking wet and freezing cold. So I'm going to shoot off down the post office for a little bit and get a few miles in. Sadly, not on my bike. I'm not going to lie, it is bloody freezing. And if it is snow that's coming, I think it is cold enough. Looking on the map, Tavistock, which is the direction where the wind is coming from, it says there's 4 to 5 centimetres there, so I hope I can get home right later. But I will believe it when I see it. We never get snow really. No sign of any snow yet, but it is blowing a gale. On very rare occasions you get a tidal surge comes up here and you can actually surf underneath that bridge. Bonkers. Well, the snow that was promised never materialised, but I certainly can't feel my face at this moment in time. Anyway, let's see how we did. 3.36 miles. It's not great, but it never is on foot. But anyway, there you go. Weigh-in day tomorrow. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, see you then. Well, it is Friday morning and I've just got time for a cheeky walk down the post office before my weigh-in, so let's get on with it. Comment below if you think walking is as dull as I do. It takes ages. I will say it is nice to be able to take in a bit more of the scenery, because I normally whiz past it here. Right, that's my walk pretty much done. Got to do my way in about 20 minutes, so go and cool down a bit. It's actually freezing out here, but I'm baking having walked up Kings Hill. Nearly there. Okay, today I managed 3.35 miles and it took 50 minutes. So I don't know if that was quicker or slower than yesterday. I think it was quicker, but who cares? Anyway, my walking is done. I really apologise for how dull that is, but just something I've got to go through at the moment, unfortunately. But back on the bike in about 10 days' time. Yeah! Anyway, weighing in about 15 minutes now. So I'll see you in a bit. Hello guys, and welcome to the end of week 5, I think it is. And I have to say, it has been another one of those weeks. I'm pretty sure I said that last week as well. It's been a bit sucky lately. Anyway, this week I have not been out on my bike, other than I got out on Sunday. I did about 20 odd miles, so I'm really pleased about that. Also on Monday I got out for a quick spin down the post office. I am having some problems with my feet. I've mentioned it a couple of times. Got like some weird trapped nerve or something in there. Anyway, so I finally got around to talking to my doctor, and they have advised me that I should knock cycling on the head for 2 weeks while I do a course of anti-inflammatory prescription drugs or whatever. So I am currently enduring that at the moment, which really sucks. However, I have been able to get down and walk to the post office, so I am still getting a little bit of exercise, but it's just not the same, is it? Anyway, what are we doing this week? 108.4 was my weight last week. I didn't have a good weight loss last week. I think I put weight on, actually, a kilo, I think. So I don't know what's going to happen this week. I'm not hopeful, it has to be said, because, you know, I do quite a lot of cycling, kind of to counteract, balance, you know, perhaps I don't eat as well as I should. Anyway, it is what it is, and I think I'm just going to have to grin and bear and endure the next couple of weeks, and you know, come out the other side and crack on with it, because it's doing my head in, to be honest. I just want to get out on my bike. Anyway, the weather has been freezing cold this week, so it's not perhaps the worst week for it to be happening, but at least it's not been raining really. We've had a threat of snow, but it hasn't happened. Anyway, stop banging on about that. This week I did get out on Sunday, so I have managed this week 28.4 miles, which is a lot better than it could have been. And as it stands, I'm 19.9 miles behind my target for this year's challenge, so it could be a lot worse than that. But again, I've got another week to go, over another week to go, so it's probably going to rack up to about 80 miles behind eventually. So I'll really have to steam on after that and crack on. Anyway, it is what it is, and I can't do anything about that. So let's get on with the weigh in, and hopefully it's not too bad. 108.4 to beat. Okay, so I've got 108.4 to beat. That was last week's weight. I will say I'm not hopeful of a weight loss. I just hope it's not so bad. So, yeah. Let's grin and bear it and get on with it. Okay, not sure what's happened there, but I have managed to lose, I think, where was I? Oh, just nearly a kilo. So what I put on last week, I've managed to dump this week pretty much. Okay, well, the scales do not lie, and today they registered 107.5 kilos, which is a loss of 0.9 kilos, which does equate to over £2. So I am absolutely ecstatic. Wasn't really sure what was going on last week putting it on, but I'm really pleased that it's come off again this week. Yeah, really stoked about that. My body fat has gone down 0.4%. I will do a screenshot and bang it just here. And you can see all the other stats, and I'll put anything exciting in the little info thing at the end. So, thank you very much for watching this week. Another week probably of rubbish next week. I can't get out on my bike, so I will be walking as much as I can. And I've earmarked a nice walk to go and do close to my house over the weekend with the family. So I'll probably take my camera along with that, but I won't bore you with too much walking rubbish. Anyway, that is it. I am pleased with that. So do a comment and a like, and don't forget to subscribe, because I know you haven't. So get on with it. Thank you very much. I will see you next week for week 6. Laters.